Welcome to PhoneGap and PhoneGap Build. In this course, I will show you how to take your HTML, CSS and JavaScript files and turn them into native App Store ready mobile applications for a variety of mobile platforms by using PhoneGap Build service. I will also demonstrate how to define your app icons and splash screens, as well as other preferences. How to enable your app to use device features such as notification, network information. I will also cover how to configure your device for mobile development and how to install your app on your phone. So let's get started with PhoneGap and PhoneGap Build. What is PhoneGap? PhoneGap is a framework which allows you to build cross-platform mobile application using your existing skills of HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript. It's an open source framework and it's free. What PhoneGap does, it takes your web application and renders it within a native web view. The web view is a native application component that is used to display web content within a native application. The web application running inside this container is just like any other application that will run within a mobile browser. So think of PhoneGap as an application as a regular web browser without a Chrome or a window running in full screen mode. It renders HTML, CSS, execute JavaScript, play audio video files, communicate with remote server. The advantage of PhoneGap is that you can use your existing web development skills to develop mobile apps. Also, if you know responsive layouts and have built responsive websites, that knowledge will help you to target your apps not only to mobile device but tablets and iPad as well. Let's look at some background of PhoneGap. PhoneGap was originally developed by Nitobi Software until it was acquired by Adobe in 2011. Along with acquisition, Adobe and Nitobi jointly contributed the PhoneGap software code to Apache Software Foundation, named Apache Cordova. With that, PhoneGap became Adobe PhoneGap and PhoneGap Build became Adobe PhoneGap Build. Well, the difference between PhoneGap and Cordova is that PhoneGap is an open source distribution of Cordova. You can say Cordova is related to PhoneGap just like WebKit is to Safari or to Chrome. Now, what mobile platform does PhoneGap support? PhoneGap can be used to build multiple mobile applications for multiple platforms. PhoneGap can be used to build mobile applications for multiple platforms: Android, iOS, BlackBerry, Windows, Symbian, WebOS or BudOS. Yes, you can target all these platforms with PhoneGap. By using HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript, you are avoiding building apps in each mobile platform native language. Now, how do you build these apps? It still requires us to download and install each platform SDK onto your computer. No. Here is where PhoneGap builds come into picture. With single code base and minimum UI changes, you can target all mobile platforms. What is PhoneGap Build? It's a cloud-based service built on top of PhoneGap Framework, which allows you to build mobile apps for multiple platforms. It is a powerful and fast solution to package the app with just one click. No need to maintain multiple native SDKs, no installation required. This eliminates the time-consuming process of installing any IDEs or SDKs. You can use your existing web development tool to create mobile application. After this, all you need to do is upload your www folder which contains your code in zip format, and you can get your mobile application files for multiple platforms. After packaging the code, it gets converted into binary distributable file: APK for Android application, IPA for iOS, XAP for Windows. The major advantage of PhoneGap Build is it maximizes your productivity time with minimum production time. Now we know that PhoneGap Build is our job of compiling application. So how do we get started? For that, we will require an account on PhoneGap Build. Visit build.phonegap.com and click on register. Now here there are multiple options. If you are an Adobe Creative subscriber, then you already have a PhoneGap Build account as part of your subscription. If you are not, then you have two other options to create PhoneGap Build account. You can sign up for a free account which will allow you one private application at a time, or you can purchase a PhoneGap Build subscription. With subscription, you have up to 25 private apps at a time. So PhoneGap is based on open source Cordova project, and if your application is open source, then you can use PhoneGap Build at no cost. So what is different between public and private apps? Public apps have their source code hosted in publicly accessible GitHub repository. Private apps have their source code hosted in private GitHub repository, which are not publicly accessible or are created when you upload a zip file containing the source code and assets to PhoneGap Build service. So now we'll create a PhoneGap Build account. You can sign in with your Adobe ID. If you don't have an Adobe ID, you can quickly create a one. All you need to do is enter your valid email address and agree to terms of use. And you have your account ready to build PhoneGap mobile applications. In our next session, we will build our first mobile app. Thank you.